Hi, everyone. Peter Liciaga here, Master Instructor of Dinoto Karate Center. I hope you guys are having an incredible, amazing day. Thank you for joining me today. This is another episode of what I'm calling the Black Belt Strong Zone, the show, the Black Belt Strong Zone. I call it. I just think it's cool. That's me. Anyway, in today's show, I want to share my thoughts on this idea of investing in our children. I know what a lot of you parents are saying, oh gosh, I invest so much in my kids already. Yes, I want to talk about that. And parents and educators out there, I truly believe that it takes courage to empower a child, and we do that by investing in them. My parents were not perfect like me. They did, I do, they did the best that they can to empower me by investing everything they had in me. Everything they had in me, my brother, and my three sisters. And I know that took courage. Took courage for them to do that. It took courage for my parents to invest their time in me, because I know they could have done other things, and I know there were times they did, but the times that they did invest in me, it helped. Every little bit helped. What they did by investing their time in me, sharing moments with me, were so valuable, because those are what I cling to. Especially with my dad, last time I saw my dad was when I was 10 years old, and then I did not see him until till I was in my late 40s, early 50s, right before he died. And so the moments that I had with him, the time that he spent with me, he invested in me, and I am so grateful for that. And it empowered me. The energy my mom and dad invested in me helped me, because it took energy to raise a child. We know that as parents, it takes energy to raise a child, and being a parent is really one of the toughest jobs there is in the world. And yes, they're more often than not, it's a thankless job. Okay, so I appreciate the energy, the time that my parents invested in me, and also their emotions, investing emotions in me, pouring into me their love, their patience, their empathy at times, their compassion, their sympathy, their emotions. They invested in me because it's paying dividends now. Because I remember times when I know my mom was having the roughest time. She raised 5 of us by herself, and her investing her time and emotions and her energy with me, I saw the stress. I reflect back, and I know it was not in vain. And she gave me everything she had, and I thank her for that. And her wisdom, what she knew of life, and what she passed on to me was an investment. It poured into me, and I reflect back on that wisdom, and now I have that as part of my wisdom that I share to my own children and my kids. And then, yes, the money my mom invested in me. There were times we had literally nothing, and that little dollar, the $2, a couple of dollars, a couple of cents that my mom would get, she would invest it in giving me what I needed, whether it was food, a roof over our heads, or that little toy that I wanted for Christmas, or my birthday, that birthday party. I remember birthday parties where I know we were broke, and I reflect back to those times when my birthday party was amazing. There was cakes, there were presents, ice cream, and it was just incredible. But I think back, I said, how did my mom do it? We had no money. How did she do it? She found a way to invest her money in me, and it took courage for her to do that. It took courage for my mom to invest all this in me, in the 5 of us, as she raised us, knowing she did not know what tomorrow was going to bring. And she knew that in that moment, as she invested those resources in me, her child, she knew that one day it would make it better for me, and it did. And I know that for me, I would have done more. I know that they would have done more if they could. I know my mom, my dad would have done so much more if they could, if they knew how. And I know that I do. Today, I know how I could do more for my kids. And I know some people will say, well, you're spoiling your kids. I don't see it that way. If my kids ask me if for something, and they know how to ask me, they say, well, Dad, what do I need to do to get this? I need this. What needs to happen for me to get this? So my kids have been taught how to ask, how to let me know what their needs are in a very specific way. But I want them to know that I'm there for them, that my wife, their mom, is there for them, to invest in them, to pour into them whatever they need. And we're doing several things when we do that. What we're doing, first of all, is letting them know that we live in a time, in a world, in the United States, in a place where there is so much for us, so much available for us, so many opportunities for us. And we want them to know that whatever you decide to have in your life, as long as you're willing to do whatever it takes to work for it, you can get it, you can achieve it, you can become it. And so when they ask us, hey, Mom, Dad, I need this, I want that, what needs to happen for us to get this happening for me, they know that we will help them with that. We pour into them time, energy, emotion, wisdom, and resources and money, everything that we need to do, let them in. And another thing that we do when we do that for our children, when I do that for my kids, I am teaching them how to raise up their children, to raise them up in the way they should go. So we stand on what our core beliefs, and then we back it up with action, and we show them how to implement what they those resources that they have. And so I know that I can do a lot more for my kids than my parents did, and that's why I do what I do for my children, because I could. Now I want to be courageous. Every day I get up, I want to be more and more courageous and invest in my children more and more every single day. And I've tested this. I've tested this thesis where I pour into my kids and invest into my kids. And one way I invest in my kids is I make myself better. I improve myself. And that's a way for me to invest in my kids. I want to make sure I stay healthy. I want to make sure that I have intelligence, that I seek knowledge, I seek wisdom, and I seek understanding, because I know when I understand, when I gain wisdom, when I gain understanding and intelligence, that I pour this back into my kids. Money, invest in my kids. Time, invest in my kids. My emotions, I invest in my kids. And I know that this has been proven. I have a 16-year-old and a 19-year-old, and those of you that are at DKC, at Dinoto Karate Center, you've met my daughter. You've seen, her talents, her gifts, and how she gives to our students at Dinoto Karate Center. She is in charge of our 3.5 to 6-year-olds, our little champions. And I was talking to her yesterday, and those kids really are the heart of our school, because they're going to continue to grow with us and become great citizens in our community. And parents would ask me, well, how soon should we start teaching our children leadership? I say as soon as possible. And Master Liciaga, my daughter, at 19 years old, has shown that it is possible to start them as 3.5 years old. Incredible. And so I know it's scary at times to invest everything that I have into my kids, into myself, for the benefit of my kids, but it's all about legacy. My name, Liciaga, will live on through my children. They'll represent core beliefs, a work ethic, and a mindset, inspirational, motivational, encouraging, and just being a good citizen, doing the right thing regardless of how they feel. And that's what I want to demonstrate and model. And I see that now in my kids, because we're investing in them. And I know at times it is scary, but I've seen the return of that investment with both my kids. So anyway, guys, with everything that I do as a parent and a teacher at Dinoto Karate Center, it's simply because I believe that the world needs one more person to stand up and do the best that they can, to be the best role model that they can be. I believe that leading the way in discipline, not only at home, but in my community, leading the way in discipline and courage and confidence, investing not only in my children, my family, but in my community, is a responsibility that I take seriously and that I must take seriously. And that's why I work so hard with Master Dinoto and all our amazing instructors at Dinoto Karate Center to serve our students and to pour into them, to invest in them, creating a structured environment where parents and their children can come, grow, and thrive and meet their goals so that they can have more focus, more discipline, more self-control, and a better health and healthier mindset and lifestyle, so that they not only invest in themselves but can pass on the knowledge and invest in others. And so that's my mission. And anyway, thanks for spending the time with me. If you want to find out more about our program, text me 856-278-5282, or you go to dinotokarate.com. If you want to find out more, just go there. Okay. Other than that, guys, have a great day. Thank you so much for spending this time with me.